Hey everybody, it's me, Gregor Manarino. How are you today? It is Monday, February 12th, 2018, people. I'm going to cover something in this video that if you are new, you've probably never heard of before. However, if you've been with me for a bunch of years, well, this is probably not going to come as that great of a shock to you, but it might. So let's go over what's happening right now. As I am doing this video blog, and again, this can change because this market has been exceedingly volatile lately. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up over 200 points. Volatility is coming down. It looks like all systems go. Now, if you recall, on Friday I explained to you why I believe that this week would be bullish for the market. And that plays into one of the things I want to talk about, which I believe, again, the people that are new here are going to go, wow. And the ones that have been with me for a while are going to just shake their head and go, it's just incredible, because it is. Now, before I talk about that, let's talk about the bond market. Right now, the bond market is stabilizing. This is huge. And I explained to you that I believe that some of this crazy volatility in this market is because of rebalancing. Because of, again, the market is anticipating a rate hike coming soon. We are seeing the bond market kind of set a fair price, or try to, on its own. So that's very important, and the market is adjusting. The dollar is weaker today. I believe the dollar is again at a short-term top here, although it's been in a long-term downward spiral, and this is going to continue. So the dollar is topping out here, in my opinion. May get higher over the next day or two, but it's going to resume its run lower. Gold and silver are higher on the back of the dollar being weaker here. So let's talk about this dynamic that I want to put a little light on here. And we've seen this time and time again, and I've written about this, I've spoken about this, I've been interviewed about this. It's a fact. So what do we hear about all weekend? Trouble in the Middle East. It's all over the major news networks. Now, okay, is this anything really new? The Middle East has been on fire for thousands of years. It's not going to stop. The reason why they have fist-fed us all this news is because crude oil has been taking quite a wallop lately. Now, I've explained to all of you that the banks do not want the price of crude to fall because they have major investments in crude oil and in the Middle East too. So, whenever we see this, again, this is something I've spoken about, read about, been interviewed about, and now you, if you're new here, can start to pay attention on your own. Whenever crude oil falls under pressure like this and they want to push it back up, all they start to do is start flooding the airwaves with bombs falling, missiles falling, drones being shot down, whatever they got to do to push the price of crude oil higher, because stocks follow higher when crude oil is bid up. You understand? It's an incredible dynamic, and if you have not seen this before, start paying attention to this. If you've been with me for years, you've seen this time and time again without one single exception. Okay? So that's why stocks are higher right now as well. Why also are stocks higher right now? This guy explained to you all how I am using the price action of cryptocurrency as a leading indicator into this market. And I said this before who? Morgan Stanley did. Major Wall Street bank backing this guy up. As far as I'm concerned, they ripped me off. That's all right. I don't care. If this is an instrument that you and I can use to rip the face off of this market, that's what we're going to do. So cash was moving into cryptocurrencies over the weekend. Today, right now, big time. This is also stock market positive. Because of all these dynamics that I just went over, I added to this position today. It's still in the red, not by much now, but I think, again, this is going to prove to be a very profitable trade. We just got to be patient. Again, these expire in April. And, for those of you that are in on this, I say congratulations to you. And there's still time to get in. There's no doubt about it. Probably a lot better to get in now. Sometimes the timing of this is a little hard to nail down. And that's why we buy a few months out in case we get stuck into a situation like this, so we don't have to panic and we can reevaluate. I know a lot of guys out here like to buy a few weeks out. That's scary. You got to have your timing really down. And, most of the time you can get this right if you put enough effort into it. But sometimes a black swan event, rates going up at an accelerated pace or something can, throw a little trouble in your path. So anyway, that's how I see this whole thing unfolding. And just pay attention to these dynamics, people, because these are things that we can use to our advantage. They're going to play their game. We are going to play our game. Pay attention to that crude oil thing. It's just a phenomenon that every time I see it, I just sit there and I shake my head and go, look what they're doing. Look what they're doing. And no one pays attention to this. It's like they think it's real. Nothing is real. Not one thing is real about this market right now. And it's being rigged and twisted, used as a political tool, weaponized, you name it. That's what they're doing. But that does not mean that we need to sit back and let them fleece us. Oh, no. We're going to use all this to our advantage. That's what this is all about. All right, we're going to sum this up at the end of the day. Let's see how this day plays out. Volatility, I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no, probably. Anyone's guess right now. But anyway, I'll see you at the end of the day. Over and out.